Um, so guys, this is a very important video. Um, all I have to say, all I really have to say in this video is that, man, it's that this Indo-European topic, specifically returning to the Proto-Indo-European topic, is a clusterfuck of just misinformation. You know, rightfully, I understand why people are spreading this misinformation, because the information that is presented is not presented in any honest or true way to what it actually means. Because the truth of the situation is, no one was ever supposed to, well, no normal person, 9 to 5 job, teenager or anything like that, no one was supposed to have a keen interest in this topic, apart from people who probably go to these institutions that make these papers and these genetics and archaeological papers. Archaeology is not, and genetics in the modern age is not meant for the consumption of modern people, or the information is not supposed to be presented in that way for normal people to digest it. It's supposed to be a draft of information used in college for people who understand the context of what this information is presented as. Nothing more, nothing less. So I won't bash anyone for not necessarily understanding what these things mean, but yeah, you have to really use a lot of keen reading. You can't just see words and just assume things, and that's it. Not to say I understand more, or am I above any of these things, particularly in, it comes down to comprehending and stuff, because I've made personally a lot of mistakes uh, when reviewing these topics. But I'm just saying that as a general, just be careful when you see these papers, that are meant to be only consumed by the people that write them and the people in their close spaces that understand specifically what these terms mean in in context of their methodologies of coming to the results. So their results are only understood under the context that they understand the methodology, which is which is confusing to say the least. I saw a comment on my video, accusing me of being a neo-Nazi because I said that I1 is probably from the steppes. It is It is. Well, I'll say this. It is more than likely from the steppes. From my own analysis, or I shouldn't say the steps, people assuming I'm talking about, I'm assuming that I'm talking about some weird Yamna stuff. Well, I already explained that Yamna is not the only pie spreader, and the actual pie spreader is probably something in the Balto-Slavic region, which is the chord, which is the chorded weir group, the chorded weir group. It's really just in the Balto-Slavic range of where these languages developed from. That's the origin of, well, most of Pi at least. Um, but the Yamna is not the ancestor of chorded weir. That's debunked. It's been debunked over a million times. They do not share the exact same amount of YAPR groups, because really what happened was that R1A was not found among Yamna, but it was found amongst a culture that is ancestral to Yamna, the Srednistag. Srednistag is from a deeper northern source. I think from uh, something BHG related, something Karelian related, I think, which is the same as Samara, but to put it quite simply, it's the other way around. It's something corridor like that gave rise to Yamna. To put it quite simply, right? The it goes something like, to make this a lot simpler. It needs to be, to put it this way, it goes something: the last glacial maximum melting of the glaciers in Scandinavia, megalodonian, uh, what's Sudarian plus megalodonian equals Western Tagavar plus ANE, which equals EG, Korean Tagavar, and SAG and BHG, and also I think iron goods. That's really what we're looking at. What I know at least, and I think EHG has the Megalodonian, which is Western Tagavar. Basically, it's the fancy term for Western Tagavar. They have Western Tagavar clades, so there's I2, possibly I1, but we haven't found any EG I1. So I don't know when exactly, where exactly I1 would have ended up in that, but it probably did, as all the I1s that are actually somewhat ancestral to modern people are from Indo-European sources, specifically one in Ukraine, and one in Croatia, one in and most of them being Belgica. The predominance of I1 is from Belgica, but they definitely existed before that somewhere else in Corridor Cultural Group. R1B, R1A, the same thing. You know, it's definitely from an EXG source, Korean Tagavar. So then Samara for Yamnaya, which Samara is from a Korean Tagavar source. Karelia is right behind of Sami, Finland. So you get the point, right? All these things took place somewhere extreme to all these people's ancestral groups. They really all came from the north, because this is where this event really happened in, and that's what I can kind of surmise. But the thing is, you can't really say this, and it took hours, and I mean hours upon hours of research and debates and discussions with people I know to finally come to a somewhat of a minuscule understanding of this thing. It's so coded in language because people are afraid that they might destroy the topic and might cause some neo-Yahtzee upheaval in the modern age, forbidding that some people in the Mesolithic, yes, people from the Mesolithic are from Scandinavia, are somewhat of a northern origin, or a Nordic, as or as the old guys would say it, a Nordic origin. People are so obsessed that being the starting point of these people, that they have begun to claim ridiculous stuff like R1 is from CHG. It's from an Armenian source, actually, and not the other way around. But in reality, the Yamna is just a descendant of these very northern people. Yamna is just a descendant of these really northern people. But I think it's somewhat shunned upon to even mention this, because the consensus is that they somehow popped out of some primordial ooze from Armenia, and that's it. You know, that's the consensus, because we cannot possibly talk about their deeper ancient origins, which clearly goes back to Northern Europe. And same for their brothers who are not descended from them, but share a common ancestor with those people. I actually wanted to mention this too, because I see people online saying something like Comeware is Finno-Ugric. It's not. It's very much related to the rise of Finno-Ugric. The Finno-Ugric was before Comeware. They kind of are just like they kind of are just related to Finno-Ugric and the rise of Finno-Ugric in Europe, and the Finno-Ugrians in Europe, and this specifically took place around the end of the Bronze Age to the Iron Age, to the beginning of the Iron Age. So they kind of became a part of the same culture. They kind of like linked up with the Combe Ceramic ware people, who are of, generally speaking, just or R1A quarterware origin. Huh. Um. Um. Yeah. So I that's my personal opinions on that. But as I can really say, you can huff and puff until you turn blue. You cannot convince the people. Like Lazarus, David Icke, and half of Turkey, that they're from Northern Europe. You can't link them anyway to Northern Europe, because this for a large part of this is mostly just a geopolitical thing for most people. That's really what it comes down to, and I should have to really say, based. Red pills, stay red pills, my guys. What the fuck? Yeah, man.